How do I look?
Ridiculous.
Okay. So I'm going for... Hey guys, it's Cassie, and today I'm doing my March wrap-up. So this is going to be how many books I read in March. This month I read 7 books, which is the most books I've read in a month in 2016 so far. In February I read 6, and then in January I read 2, which is very, very bad. But yeah, so let's just get started. The first 2 books that I read in March are very well known in the book community, and that is City of Ashes and City of Glass. I lent out my copy of City of Ashes to my friend, so I only have City of Glass with me right now. But I read these 2 books in the beginning, and City of Glass was probably my second favorite book that I read this month, and you'll find out later why. But I thought it was really great, and I loved how they went to Idris, and I loved it all, except for the part where Sebastian came and kept being like a turd nugget. But it was a really good book, and I think it's my favorite so far of the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm excited to continue it. And I gave City of Ashes 4.5 stars and City of Glass 5 stars. The next book I read was Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, and this book came out on February 9th. It's the second book in the Red Queen series, and I did a review on it, and that was my previous video, so I'll link it right here. I gave this book 3 stars. The next book I read was Girl Online by Zoe Sugg, and I was kind of in a reading slump after I read Glass Sword. So I wanted to read something light and contemporary, and I found this at a consignment shop for like $2. So I bought it because I was considering buying it anyway, and I didn't want to spend like $11 at Barnes & Noble or something like that. So I just bought it, and I read it, and it was a very nice light read. I read it in like 2 days, I think, or 1 day. And it's about this girl named Penny, and she goes to New York. She falls in love. It's like this romance thing. And after I read this, I did not feel the need to really read the second one, but I still gave it 4 stars. The next book I read was Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, and I really loved this book. I'd heard a lot of great things about it from all these different people on BookTube, and it's about this girl named Anna, and she goes to Paris for boarding school, and it's basically her year at the boarding school, and obviously it's a contemporary love story. But I think it's very unique contemporary-wise because there was a lot of knowledge on Paris and a lot of actual places where scenes took place, and I feel like it wasn't just a romance, because the romance kind of happened the last 50 or 100 pages. It was really more of Anna finding out who she was and going through all these different conflicts. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The second to last book that I read was These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and I was really amazed by this book because I thought it was going to be this romance thing about these 2 people, and obviously it is, but it's completely, like, there are so many different things that threw me for a loop, and I listened to this on Audible while I was reading it, and so that helped me read it a little quicker and just kind of, I don't know, but I liked how they did it on Audible because they had the different voices during the different chapters, and I thought that really added to the whole reading experience. But I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I wrote a quick, short review on Goodreads with no spoilers. So if you want to check that out, I have my Goodreads linked below. And the last book I read in March was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, and I read this book literally in like 2 days, but I thought this was really interesting, and I've heard a lot of mixed things about this. Jesse the Reader was someone who really recommended it, and after I saw the trailer and heard his kind of like love for the book series, I thought, okay, I have to read it. And when I was, I don't know, in like elementary or something like that, I almost picked it up a couple times, but I never actually bought it and read it. But I'm really glad I read it now, and the movie comes out on September 30th, and if you haven't seen the trailer, you need to see it now, and if you haven't read the book, you need to read it now. And I really liked that, and I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So I hope you guys enjoyed this March wrap-up, and yeah, so please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! My first 2 books,